Good morning, Standard 6. In today's English literature class, we are going to start a new poem that is Vocation. The poem Vocation is written by Rabindranath Tagore. It displays a child's yearning and wishes. It speaks about how a child is unaware of the harshness connected to daily life and gets attracted to various things in life. In this poem, a child speaks about his wishes and attractions. It shows the state of his wavering but innocent mind. The poem is about how a child gets attracted to the ways of people around him and finds different curiosities and attractions in their lives. He is not aware of the tough routine they have to go through. It also shows his innocence and lack of worldly sense. At three different points of time during the day, he notices different hawkers and gets impressed by their free choices and independent way of life. When the gong sounds 10, the first part of the day, he goes to his school and sees the vendor carrying bangles. So he wants to then become the vendor, and he wishes he could be a peddler and move freely anywhere just like him. So going to the next part, what he wants to be is at the 4 in the evening while returning from school. At the same time, he sees the plant specialist burrowing the ground, and he wanted to be a nursery worker. He wished to play in the dust. At the point when night falls, his mom sends him to bed and he sees the guardian through the window. And he wishes he could be the gatekeeper so that he could also move here and there in the streets at night freely. So what is being said in the poem is that there is a young boy and he fantasizes different people and he wants to become like them, unaware of the fact that the tough life they had to follow and the tough schedule they follow each day. So going by the lines of the poem, let us read the poem once. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and walk to school by our lane, every day I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles, there is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road, crying bangles, crystal bangles. So what is a hawker? Hawker is a person who makes money by selling goods he carries with him. So the people who comes to our house or goes from place to place selling things are called hawkers. So what he wants to become is, when he notices the hawkers, he gets impressed by their free choices and the independent way of living. Like they can go anywhere and everywhere and they can sell their goods and they can do anything. So next what he sees is when at 4 in the afternoon, so at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when he comes back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. So spade over here is a garden tool with a broad metal blade and a long handle using for digging. So it is being used for digging. So he sees him. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. So when he sees in the evening time at 4 o'clock, while returning from school, the plant specialist, that is the gardener, he is burrowing the ground and he wanted to be a nursery worker. He also wanted to wish to play in the dust. The way he is working in the dust, he is unaware of the hard work that he is doing, but he is fascinated by the dust and the work that is being done in the dust. So the child is wanting to do the similar work. Going to the next page. Just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open window The watchman walking up and down the lane is dark and lonely. and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side, and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman, walking the streets all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. So, at the point of the time when the night falls, what happens is the child's mother asks him to go off to sleep or go to the bed. But what does he see from the window? He sees from the window a gatekeeper, that is a watchman, and he wishes to be a gatekeeper too. Why? Because he can move here and there in the streets at night freely. He also wants to do the same thing. He also does not want to sleep, so he also wants to do the same thing at the night and wishes to do so. So the poem Vocation over here tells us about the task of different kinds of people. It is about the person who is being talking about, like the child. The child is talking about different people over here, and knowing the fact that they have to do a lot of work, they'll have to do a lot of hardship in order to complete their work. Vocation is a work that is to be done. Okay, so different kinds of profession that we have comes under vocation. This is a poem by Rabindranath Tagore. It is a very beautiful poem in which a child's imagination is being personified. What a child wants or what a child desires to be is being personified. So I hope the poem Vocation is clear to you all. What you have to do, students, is that you will be writing the whole poem in your notebook. Then you will be writing the meanings that are given on page number 52. After completing that, you will write about the poet Rabindranath Tagore, and then following will be the summary of the poem and answer the following questions that will be given to you. So all these work are to be done in the notebook. After you complete doing this, you will be learning them also. Start learning for your exams so that you are well prepared and you don't have any kind of difficulty at the end moment or at the 11th hour. So I hope you have understood the poem. Thank you so much, students. We'll be meeting in the next class with a new chapter. Thank you so much.